Welcome back, YouTubers. It's that time again. It's Friday night. Time for our Friday night Smackdown review with us, the British Fist.
Catching.
And if you don't know who we are, which you probably do, I am Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me, the man with the moves, the man with the purple shirt, it's NJ.
What's up?
What's up, NJ? What's up to you guys out there? Make sure you subscribe up above. You click that subscribe button, like this video, and get your comments on Smackdown down in that comment section below.
Make sure you contact us in our links in the description box below.
Indeed. Shall we start off Smackdown then? What did we open with?
Mark Henry!
Yes, and we had a Mark Henry being interviewed by Booker T, which is a very, very unique opening to Smackdown, wasn't it?
It was, because giving Mark Henry the opener is something that obviously we need, because obviously if he's going to go up against Orton, he needs his mic time, his build-up for that match again.
Yep, and this segment didn't need to announce the main event because we already had Orton and Christian announced from Raw, so they could really just focus on Mark Henry interview, Mark Henry opening interview, which is good. And I think, the interview itself was okay. Booker T talks about Mark Henry's rise to winning the World Championship, and we have Henry threatening the commentators again. What are you doing? Oh, fuck you! Oh yeah, I'm Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, motherfucker. But basically, he then talks about the pay-per-view match, and it's pretty good stuff between the two. Mark Henry just talking dominant and stuff, so it's all all good stuff to really enhance his character.
And the good thing about this is that obviously Mark Henry weren't paying much attention to Booker T, because Booker T was also like, oh, what happens if you're in the ring with Orton and it gives you an RKO? It wasn't an RKO!
So yeah, it was quite entertaining. Basically, the message is that Mark Henry is dominant, and that's really the message that WWE should be portraying as he's being booked like that at the moment.
And at Hell in a Cell, someone's going to get hurt!
Yeah, definitely. It's not going to be us, because we're going to be watching it. Yeah. This then follows into a Mark Henry and Great Khali match. The match which we never really saw on Raw. We got a nice video package showing why they were facing off. Something which SmackDown did a lot tonight, which was very good. It helps the continuation from Raw to SmackDown. This match was really done to just make Mark Henry look strong, even though I feel they booked Khali a bit stronger than I expected.
It did, because it went on for a fair amount of time for these two, but then again, if they've got plans for Khali in the future, this match has kind of helped them something.
Well, it's helped him get off TV.
Oh, that's true, very true.
Mark Henry wins the match in 3 minutes, and then after the match, Mark Henry injures Khali, kind of like he did with Big Show and Kane. So that was, it makes him look strong, and it gets Khali off TV now, because let's face it, the Jinder Mahal Khali thing was never going to go anywhere. Next match we have is Evan Bourne versus Jack Swagger. They both come out with Kofi Kingston and Ziggler. This, in my opinion, is kind of setting up a tag team match of the pay-per-view, the way they had both teams there. We had a nice little video package again, showing why they were facing off, again, which is good. And Swagger gets the win with help from Dolph Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero.
It was standard. It was basically giving them, not a perfectly clean win, it gave us a feeling that something could happen on himself.
There was less focus on the match and more on the feud, which I guess is kind of needed, especially if they're going to do it at the pay-per-view. So this segment, I think, was effective. Not necessarily just the match, but the way the segment was done and the way it gave us a hint that we might see a tag team match at the pay-per-view.
Well, with the card that we've got so far, I think we do need another match in the card, yes. Definitely. And this tag match would have been good.
Yes. Sin Cara versus Sin Cara was announced at Hell in a Cell. Yay! We then get a Sin Cara versus Heath Slater match. Again, we had a video package hyping it up from Raw. The whole Sin Cara versus Sin Cara interaction there. This match lasted less than a minute, and it's like, wow, there must have been so many botches in this match if they had to edit it down that much.
And sadly, again, you don't really expect much from Heath Slater anymore, so for him to get squashed by a rising star, then fine. Yeah,
and after the match, we have Sin Cara #2 revealing a black mask, and he cut a promo on the Titantron, which was very good to see, wasn't it? I mean,
and he did speak in Spanish for the Spanish fans out there, and he also had a bit of English as well.
Bonjour. That's French. Whoops. But yeah, Sin Cara being a jobber, I guess it makes sense, and you have a bit of interaction between the two. There's now some talking there, which kind of helps the storyline along a little bit, in my opinion. So it helps the pay-per-view. Again, another segment concentrating on the pay-per-view, something I think SmackDown did well tonight.
I think with that, because with this Sin Cara match, we knew it was going to come eventually, and maybe, again, they brought it up too soon, but again, it should be an okay match.
Yeah. We had a video package for Mark Henry versus Orton for their match at Hell in a Cell. We got a couple of video packages throughout the night of some of the matches, like Sin Cara versus Sin Cara and the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view itself. So that's good. It's nice that they're promoting the Hell in a Cell as a pay-per-view and as a match. We got that a lot through the night, which we need on a going show.
We do, because obviously it's hyping up their pay-per-view, not their biggest pay-per-view, but it's hyping up what's expected to happen.
Yes. And next we have a Divas match. The weekly Divas match between Kelly and Natalia with Beth Phoenix on commentary. One thing that's really getting me at the moment is how much can WWE string out of this Kelly versus Divas of Doom thing now? Because we've seen this like so many times now. The switches around Kelly, Natalia, Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Eve Torres, and all that kind of stuff. How much can they do in like segments now with these? They really need to kind of move on from it now a little bit, in my opinion.
So the way it looks now is that they've got this match happening at not a Hell in a Cell now. So to be honest, this should be the whole closing.
Yeah, I would hope so. Kelly gets the win, which is, you know, you need your champion looking stronger into the pay-per-view. It comes at the expense of Natalia, who's not involved in the match.
But the highlight of this weren't the match itself, because we know Divas matches are not that exciting unless they're a pay-per-view. Yeah. But it was the aftermath. We had basically Beth Phoenix comes in the ring, takes down Kelly, and
it was
locks in a beatdown. Yeah.
Pretty much a beatdown, wasn't it? Which is good. And then Beth Phoenix got some mic time. You hear Kelly screaming. She says she's going to take down the model diva. And you know, it's good that they're giving Beth Phoenix some mic time going into the match, because I feel it needs it. But anyway, sorry, I hit you a little bit hard there. Next we get to all you Zack Ryder fans, fuck you. We have Cody Rhodes versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. Once again, we see a nice video package showing why they're facing off from that Battle Royal, which is good again, isn't it?
It is. With these two, again, you saw them having that little tension at the end of the match when Christian got involved and made Sheamus lose the match. So giving them this match made sense.
Rhodes cut a promo at the beginning talking about Orton's attack from last week and having to defend the Intercontinental Championship unfairly. I think it's good that they're giving guys like Cody Rhodes promo time, because it really shows that they actually want to do something with him. They're giving him this promo time.
That's good, because they also gave him his mic time, and then Sheamus came out and had his mic time. So it's definitely giving possible main eventers that are probably going to get up there in the next couple of months, at the end of the year, mic time.
And it helps the segment overall, wasn't it? Because we had a very good match. The match itself was very back and forth. It lasted for 8 minutes. And no one got buried in this match because Christian comes out and causes a DQ. So Cody Rhodes retains his title. You have the development of this Christian Sheamus storyline, which is needed going into the pay-per-view on the Going show. So I think the segment was well done, in my opinion.
And I really wouldn't want to see Sheamus the champ, because again, I see him going to the world heavyweight. So having the Intercontinental would probably hold him back for a little while. So the fact that it was a DQ, thumbs up.
Yep. So Christian causes a DQ. Hits the kill switch on Sheamus, making the heel look stronger into the pay-per-view. I still expect Sheamus to win it, but it was a good segment. I really did enjoy the segment. The match, the promos, the aftermath was all very well booked, I feel.
They've done this match and this rivalry between Christian and Sheamus. They've added that into this match. It was nicely done, part of Smackdown.
Yes. As part of our backstage segments tonight, we got Laurinaitis and Triple H confronting when Laurinaitis says, "I'm loyal to you, Triple H. I'm loyal."
Better be.
Yeah, as I might be future endeavoured. Because earlier on in the night, we had this whole thing with, you know, the pack, as I like to call them, being led by David Otunga, the bow tie man, and John Laurinaitis. There's obviously going to be some sort of power struggle leading into Survivor Series between Laurinaitis and Triple H, maybe even Vince McMahon.
It probably will be, because there's a hint that he's going on texting someone, and our conclusion is Vince McMahon. The way I see it now is that Triple H should have fired him a while back, but the fact they're continuing it, fine.
Yes, anyway, we get on to our main events. Or first, they run down the card for Hell in a Cell, which we need, because we need the matches announced. And we've got the 5 announced matches with rundown, which was good stuff, I feel, from Smackdown. Now onto the main event. The one which we've seen so many times now. Randy Orton versus Christian. One thing I will say, though, although we've seen this match many times, at least they played off the history in this match, in the way they dodged each other's moves. You know, they seem to know each other's moves very well. So in that sense, I say this segment was actually quite good.
The only problem I'm going to say, you're saying the positive, I'll say negative, is that, as I've said before, every kind of match that's like this, 2 people that have a match at the pay-per-view should not be going against each other. I'm going to stick by that, but...
The way the match ended, though, was good. The double DQ,
I give
the double
count
out.
But again, I'm just sticking by my words that they shouldn't face each other.
No one gets buried too much in this segment, I mean, apart from Mark Henry at the end, but we'll go on to that later.
There was good moves when, like, there's this... Orton does a twirl on the thing, and
that was very good.
It was all good. Different moves.
It was a good match. I thought this was a good main event, a good TV main event. I thought
it was for a match that's happened before. This whole one more match thing led to this last match between Orton and Christian, and it was just a nice match.
Yeah. And like I said, it ends in a double count out, which I kind of like. I don't like these matches ending clean before a pay per view. We have the whole Orton goes to attack Christian post match, and then Rhodes comes out, which was a bit strange, but it's nice to see him involved in the main event scene, the Intercontinental Champion. And him and Christian beat on Orton. But then who comes into the ring? The big ginger Irishman comes into the ring. Sorry, I was supposed to ask you about that, but whatever. clears the ring, and then you'd think, oh, that's the end.
Yeah, it would be a good ending because obviously it's got Orton as a beatdown. It's basically just a perfect way to finish before Hell in a Cell.
But Mark Henry comes out, doesn't he? You have Mark Henry coming out, and him and Orton end up having a brawl. Mark Henry comes on top, and I'm thinking to myself,
yeah, there we go.
End
the show.
Cuts. But no. After that, Mark Henry goes to get a chair, and Orton RKO's him, and it's like, wow. After all those attacks, through all those attacks Orton has just gone through, and Mark Henry, he still has the energy to RKO someone. It's just so bad. I hate it when they do that. Feeding his ego.
The good thing about this, I will say, is that we've had Henry dominating Orton at the end of loads of Smackdowns and Wars and that. So we knew it was going to come eventually. Orton was going to have a one-up over Mark Henry, and he's had it now.
Yeah, so not a bad main event, I thought. Good hype for the pay-per-view. Hyped a couple of rivalries there, even though Cody Rhodes isn't going to be doing anything at the pay-per-view. But all in all, it was a good match. I thought it was a decent segment. It kind of summed up SmackDown in a way, in that in my opinion, it wasn't the most entertaining show, but I feel they got the basics right and some of the booking decisions right on the go-home show.
Yeah, again, it weren't entertaining like you said. I didn't find it entertaining. There weren't many parts of SmackDown I would say, oh, that was great. But
I'd say the Intercontinental Championship match and the main event were entertaining. But other than that, it was just SmackDown concentrating on the pay-per-view hype, which I feel they kind of needed.
That's pretty much it, because I think it's their last chance before the pay-per-view, and they've done justice with this SmackDown.
Grade, overall thoughts on the grade, quickly?
Overall, like you said, the main event and the Intercontinental was good. It had hype up with other matches, that was good, because obviously their last chance before the pay-per-view. Yep. My grade would be probably a C+.
I think it wasn't very entertaining, but they got the basics right, which they kind of needed to do, and I think C+ is a fair grade. Definitely better than last week. Definitely better than last week, in my opinion. Definitely. And after that SmackDown review from the British Fist, we're going to be going on to our Hell in a Cell predictions, aren't we, NJ?
We are indeed,
Yes, and how much are we or aren't we looking forward to this pay-per-view?
Not very much at all.
Let's talk about the build first, though, because we always seem to talk about the build. The main point for me is we've had 2 weeks, which isn't enough time. We all know that, so we might as well just get that out of the way to start with. Yeah. The point I will make here is that I just feel in this pay-per-view, the Hell in a Cell match has been so devalued. You've got matches in there that don't warrant a Hell in a Cell match, and it's like, it's really bad. This is why I don't like these gimmick pay-per-views, because the matches just really don't feel valued from being in a Hell in a Cell match. You can just have them as singles matches. There's no need to put them in a Hell in a Cell for me.
No, if they took away this one, the build would be a lot more better, a lot more stronger leading up to Vengeance.
Just have 4 weeks going to Vengeance, 4 or 5 weeks going to Vengeance to hype up your next pay-per-view. It would be very simple, wouldn't it? Very simple solution.
That would work very perfectly. It would maybe give us more interest in these matches. Like the only reason Cena is getting this match is because obviously he lost at Night of Champions. Randy Orton's getting his match because he lost at Night of Champions. So I think it's just they need to do something quick. They needed matches to be made quickly for this pay-per-view. That's why they're getting their rematches.
It really does seem like a filler pay-per-view, doesn't it? Especially from what's happened at Night of Champions. It just seems like it's a filler pay-per-view between Night of Champions and Vengeance, and that's really it, isn't it?
That's pretty much all I could say.
We won't be buying this pay-per-view, will we?
Sadly not.
No way. So 2 weeks of build. What can you really do with 2 weeks? It's not that they built it badly. It's just that there's just not been enough time to really hammer it down, even though they've been doing it well this last week.
And the thing they're missing, like we said, there's going to be matches they're missing, starting with the tag team. We're expecting there to be a tag team thrown in the last minute between you tag team champions or Air Boom versus Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger.
Yeah, based on what they've done on Raw and SmackDown, it does seem like they might go down that route, the way they've had them interacting. So I do expect to see this match. And of course, they need to add matches because they're just, to be honest with this pay-per-view, they kind of pluck matches out of thin air in some places. So they kind of need to have this match in there, especially now they don't have anything for Cody Rhodes to do at the pay-per-view. So they kind of need a 6th match there, if not more, in my opinion.
Again, it's in a SmackDown now, so they're going to be throwing in matches, which is pretty bad for a build-up of a pay-per-view.
Yep. And talking about SmackDown, the first match we're going to be talking about is Sin Cara versus Sin Cara. Now, one thing I will say about this, it's not been built that badly, I feel, because we've had Sin Cara interacting with Sin Cara in various segments leading to Hell in a Cell, and we had the whole revealing of the new Sin Cara, which is Hudinko, on SmackDown, which has been decent.
The only thing I'll say is that this match has been done too soon, because Sin Cara's just returned. Their rivalry feud has just been a build-up at the minute, and the fact they're going to face each other, probably maybe have a clean finish, hopefully not, at the pay-per-view is sad.
WWE kind of been forced into this because they don't really have many matches to do at the pay-per-view, really, isn't it? And all I can say is, this match is going to be on Botchamania, isn't it?
It will, and the outcome of this will show us who the real Sin Cara is and who is not going to be the growing star in WWE.
Yes, according to Booker T. But there we go. Don't always trust the Booker. Don't always trust the book, man. That's all I can say. The next match we'll talk about is Kelly Kelly versus Beth Phoenix, and I think for the Divas Championship, I think we're both in agreement here that Kelly needs to lose.
She does, because she's won at 2 pay-per-views when she shouldn't have. Beth Phoenix should have won last pay-per-view because it's in her hometown. So now Beth Phoenix needs to finish this and become the champion.
She should have won it in her hometown, like you said.
Yeah.
But this has been built now for a couple of months. I do feel now they've run out of things to really do with the Kelly Kelly thing. I think it shows in the segments. I think they need to just move on from that, in my opinion, and have the Divas of Doom dominate until, say, Karma comes back.
Because they've built Kelly Kelly up enough now, so it's the end. Now it's give Beth Phoenix a championship and finish there.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully Beth wins. Come on, Beth. Next we have Christian versus Sheamus. Remember they had a promo at the pay-per-view, and you kind of predicted they would have a match. Now they're having this match. I kind of feel that the way this has been done and the way I think WWE are going to go with this maybe could have been a number one contendership match. Possibly.
It would have made sense, because obviously they're both possible contenders to go for the championship. And Sheamus obviously is going to be the next one to step up and go against Mark Henry.
Yeah, and this feud hasn't been built up that badly. I mean, you've had Christian costing Sheamus's IC Championship matches. You've had Sheamus costing Christian his title match. So this feud, in my opinion, has been built up decently. They've been involved in segments, not necessarily their own segments, but they've been involved prominently on Raw and SmackDown. So I guess that's good for this match, and I expect Christian to win this. I feel they're going to really go all the way with him. Yeah, they're going to make Sheamus win it and go all the way with Sheamus as a babyface, I feel.
Sheamus has to win this, because obviously it's time. Christian's had his one match numerous times. Sheamus hasn't had his match, go Sheamus.
Definitely. Go Sheamus, fella. The Irishman from Ireland, fella.
That's it.
Sheamus for the win, baby. Anyway, the next match we're going to go on to is the SmackDown main event, which is Mark Henry versus Orton. Hell in a Cell. I expect Mark Henry to win this, but I still have a small feeling that just the way that he's been booked on SmackDown lately, that Randy Orton might just win the fucking title back.
The way I see it, they built up Mark Henry to be this huge monster, and he's beat Orton once, beat him again. Yeah, definitely. Mark Henry has to win this, or else all that booking, all that build has just gone to waste. And I do feel that WWE are going to revisit the Mark Henry-Sheamus feud, build up Sheamus as a major babyface, build up Mark Henry as this major heel, which he is at the moment, and they're going to put Sheamus over in the future. And I think this is all leading to it, in my opinion. Because, yeah, I agree with that. To be honest, having Orton as a champ again just leads nowhere, not really. Yeah. It's back to square one, really, isn't it? Very true. Mark Henry is the champ. That's left him to still have a good title run and future opponents for him. Hopefully I'd hope they don't make him lose after 2 weeks. Give him a couple of months at least with that. The way they've been built. He needs it. Now for the main event, I guess. Main event. Cena versus Punk versus Del Rio in the first ever, like WrestleMania opened the card with WrestleMania Championship match, the first ever triple threat Hell in a Cell. I see no one other than Cena winning this. Purely through the process of elimination. I don't think Punk will win it, because he's obviously going to be in a bigger program with Triple H or whoever. And I don't see Del Rio winning it, because it will make no sense him dropping the title at Night of Champions, even though there's a tour of Mexico coming up, which they were going to make him champion for. I just think it's really sad that Del Rio lost after a month. And to be honest, he could have basically had it on through Vengeance, probably. And now having to win it again would basically make Cena's title reign look pointless, and Del Rio's loss look pointless. So to be honest, I don't want to say this, but Cena's got to win. Cena has to win this, really, just for logical sense, I guess. The match could be good. I don't have no doubt the match will be good. At least Del Rio's been booked strong going into this match, which is good to see, because when they booked him as the champion, he was really badly booked. They've left us at a point where Del Rio's looking strong over his 2 opponents, so I'll say they've done right with that. Yeah, this has definitely got to be the main event, mainly because Cena's in it and Punk's in it too. So that's very true. Yes. Yes. Overall thoughts on this pay-per-view? I don't really expect much from this pay-per-view, to be honest with you. I don't think it's just a filler pay-per-view, isn't it? And I'm not going to buy it. So no, compared to the other Hell in a Cell we've had in the past years, this one is just appalling. Yeah. So I'm not really looking forward to it. I've got no match I'm thinking, well, that's my favourite match tonight. You haven't got that, so I can't really say I'm looking forward to it. No, neither can I. And make sure you guys get your thoughts on the show. What do you expect from Hell in a Cell in that comment section below? And also comment to give us your thoughts on the SmackDown show too in that comment section below. And MJ? Okay, well, you've heard the words from Mr. Parkin and me, MJ. What's up? Goodbye.